folks, and welcome to today's video. My name is Mr. G, your meteorologist, and thank you for joining me today. This is Elite Weather. Thank you for watching me on TikTok and YouTube. Please feel free to leave a follow on TikTok and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Your comments are always welcome, and also don't forget to hit that like button as well. So again, thank you for joining me today as we talk about our weekend weather forecast, as well as a look into what to expect as we head into the next week. Many of us have been dealing with some, actually, let's be honest here, almost all of us, with the exception of South Florida and Southern California, have been dealing with the extreme cold over the last week or so. I'm happy to report that the end is in sight as far as that cold weather is concerned. The Northeast and the Great Lakes will have some snow to contend with this weekend, and parts of the Midwest as well as the West Coast is going to have some snow and heavy rain. And we're going to start to see heavy rain develop across parts of Texas as well. We're going to look into that probably in a future video later this weekend as we kind of get you ready for the heavy rain that's set to begin across parts of Texas and the Deep South early next week. So our city of the day is Chicago. We're looking at a beautiful view across the west side of Chicago facing downtown. That is a very beautiful, nice shot. Clear skies in the foreground, but you can see that haze in the background. There's also some scattered snow flurries around as well. Further to the south and to the east, maybe around Gary, along I-90 and 94, we're still seeing some snow along the lakefront there, and we're seeing heavy snow on the other side of the lake over into Michigan, as we have some lake effect snow down across parts of Ohio and through, not Ohio, but Ohio too, but Indiana here, as well as Michigan. So we are looking at some lake effect snow out there across the Great Lakes and parts of the east, the Northeast as well. So let's move on with the rest of the forecast. Take a look at the maps. Try not to leave such a long video today because all in all, the weather is fairly benign right now, so we're not going to have too much to cover, except we're going to talk about the snow and the storm that's coming on the West Coast. So let's get started, and again, thanks for watching. Okay, so let's move on with the rest of the weather forecast and talk about what we're going to be seeing out there for your weekend and as well as the beginning of next week. Our first map is a radar shot of what's going on out there across the East Coast here in the mid-Atlantic states and the Great Lakes. We're seeing some snow from our current storm system that's making its way across the Appalachian Mountains into Pennsylvania and New Jersey. We're also seeing some snow across Connecticut here and parts of New York as well. We're seeing some light snow showers. This is fairly light snow. It's light to moderate snow. Maybe there might be a few bursts of heavier snow embedded in there, but mostly it's going to be light to moderate. Some of you might pick up 2 to 3, maybe 4 inches at the most from this snow that we're going to be seeing across parts of the mid-Atlantic states today. So again, another snowy day for some of you folks as we try to make up for that excessive snow deficit out there across the mid-Atlantic and into the Northeast. And in our next map, here is our snow that we're going to be seeing across the Great Lakes and the Northeast today. So light snow here from Massachusetts, upstate New York, through Pennsylvania, over to Ohio and Michigan as well. We're going to be seeing that light snow across parts of extreme northeastern Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, parts of western North Carolina, parts of Virginia, West Virginia, and parts of Tennessee as well. We're going to be seeing some light snow for this afternoon across those areas. And then here is our weather advisories across the Great Lakes and the Mid-Atlantic. We have a weather advisory for the most part here in the gray, but the dark blue or purple or whatever that is a winter storm warning. That's where we're seeing a little bit heavier snow and some wind as well. So we have some blowing snow and some 6-inch plus accumulations across mainly West Virginia and parts of Maryland and maybe south central Pennsylvania. We're seeing that heavier snow, and across southern New Jersey Jersey as well. So you're going to expect to see that heavier snowfall this afternoon. Here is your through Saturday. This is where we're going to be seeing that winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings across the mid-Atlantic again. So we're going to be seeing our winter storm across Maryland, Delaware, and southern New Jersey is where we're going to see that winter storm warning this afternoon through Saturday, okay? Here is our snowfall that's expected. Primarily 1 to 3 inches. A few folks is going to pick up 3 to 5 here right along the front range of the leeward side of the Appalachian Mountains. So we're going to see that potential for 3 to 5 inches. And in and around in Philadelphia, we're going to pick up 3 to 5 inches of snow this time. You guys are going to be on the heavier end of that snowfall forecast there for once, okay? And then here we are as we take a look at the wider area, and we're going to look at the snowfall forecast. So if we take a look, zoom in a little bit. Let me stay on the camera here, onto Pennsylvania. So Philadelphia, right around New Jersey there, we're going to be seeing that 3 to 5 inches of snowfall this afternoon. That's going to be snow, yet still to fall across this region here. We're going to see that 3 to 5 there around Philadelphia, but most of Pennsylvania and upstate New York here and down through Maryland and West Virginia and Virginia, we're going to be seeing either 1 to 3 inches, and then the darker colors there, that's going to be less than 1 inch for those areas. So still a little bit of snow left to go through this afternoon. Going to be a little light accumulations out there. A few inches of snow is going to be possible. So again, plowable snow across much of the mid-Atlantic this afternoon. And here is that probability of picking up over 2 inches of snow along the I-95 corridor. So it's very likely that you're going to see 2 inches or more here across southern New Jersey and into eastern Pennsylvania. Around the Philadelphia area down through Trenton and those areas, we're going to see that very likelihood of 2 inches. Likely 2 inches here over central Pennsylvania. But you're going to see the very likelihood, again, of more than 2 inches here over southwestern New York, western Pennsylvania, parts of Ohio, and West Virginia as well. So again, a snowy afternoon for the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic states. Here is the possibility of the greater shot. Here's your probability of up to 4 inches across the I-95 corridor. Around Philadelphia, we have the likelihood, so you have a greater than likely chance of seeing 4 inches of snow across the Philadelphia area. And then down here across West Virginia, south central Pennsylvania, we have a very likely chance of seeing more than 4 inches of snow. And again, up there across parts of the Great Lakes areas there, south to Buffalo. Buffalo is actually further up here. So this is around Erie and into parts of northeastern Ohio is where we have the greater than likely chance of seeing 4 inches of snow. All right, so here is the snow still to come across parts of the Buffalo area where we're going to be seeing 1 to 3 inches of lake effect snow this afternoon across parts of Buffalo, and we're going to be seeing those lighter snowfall amounts over south central New York. So generally 1 to 3 over the area wide here across southwestern New York State. Here is the snowfall, the snowfall totals expected across parts of Long Island and the I-95 corridor, the city, New York City, and Connecticut as well. So we are seeing 1 to 3 inches primarily across this region, the I-95 corridor through New York City and through Connecticut, 1 to 3 inches. 3 to 5 inches again further down to the south and west here through Pennsylvania and through West Virginia is where we're going to be seeing those higher snowfall totals for those regions. And again, that Philadelphia 3 to 5 inches across the eastern Pennsylvania and parts of southern New Jersey as well. That 3 to 5 inches is going to be very likely for your area this evening. And then even into Boston. So here's the Boston area. Less than an inch for the Boston area and eastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Less than an inch of snow for you folks. So just a light coating to an inch for your areas this afternoon as we have those scattered snow showers. And we have wind chill alerts still in effect across the Midwest, down through parts of the Mid-South and through the Appalachians as well, and down to the Gulf Coast in the Southeast. We're going to still have wind chill advisories, wind chill warnings in place for another day or two before we start to see that diminish and temperatures begin to warm as we get to Sunday. We're really going to start to see those temperatures warm, and Monday we're really going to see that significant jump in the temperatures. We won't be worrying about wind chill advisories or watches or warnings or anything like that anymore. Here is a look at the forecast as far as those temperature scenarios as we head through next week, where we're going to see bad cameras in play here. And it's just this need to constantly try to focus. Maybe I'm just so ugly it can't focus on me. So here we are as we take a look at how nice it's going to be. You guys are going to really appreciate the next couple of weeks at least, as we're going to be seeing those temperatures go way above average across a good portion of the east. So the eastern half of the United States will be way above average, especially in the Great Lakes, in the parts of the Northeast and the upper Midwest. So Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois. You guys are going to enjoy really nice weather, as well as through Pennsylvania, New York, the Northeast, and across the Southeast as well. So the Carolinas down through Georgia, Florida are going to be above average as we head through the week next week. But we're going to still see warmer than average across the West as well. They're always running warmer than average. So, again, we're going to see that trend continue out to the West, but a little less likely so across the Southwest, but more likely across the Northwest and the Northeastern areas of the United States. So, enjoy that. Enjoy that, because you've earned it as you've had a kind of a cold stretch there. I'm going to have to step off the camera for a minute here as we talk about what's headed into California. So we got a lot of rain that's going to be setting up there. We have another atmospheric river in play, and that's going to be bringing more rounds of stormy weather. We're going to see heavy rain starting on Saturday across northwestern California, where we're going to see that flooding across northwestern from the Bay Area to the Oregon border. And then we're going to see much of the same as more of that rain kind of settles in around the San Francisco area on Sunday. But on Monday, it shifts to Southern California, where we'll have a storm system that's going to be bringing some heavy rain and the potential for flooding down to Southern California. From LA, Orange, and San Diego counties is where we're going to see heavier rain beginning on Monday over the southwestern U.S. So here's a look at the future radar for California from Saturday through Sunday, Friday through Sunday, where we're going to see those storms bring all of that heavy rain onto the West Coast. You can see all that rain coming into central and in northern California, and then by the time we get to Sunday, you can see that heavy rain shifts down to Southern California. So we're going to see heavy rain all the way through Arizona, and the heavy snow over the Mogollon Rim, heavy snow over northern New Mexico, heavy snow in Colorado, Utah, and Nevada as well, and heavy snow through the Sierra Nevada mountains in California. So a lot of heavy snow, heavy rain. So we're going to see flooding along the coastal sections and down to Southern California. Heavy rain, 2 to 3 inches in San Francisco. We're going to also see that 1 to 2 inch rainfall, 2 to 3 inch totals through parts of Southern California and LA as well. So lots of heavy rain from the Bay Area down to SoCal. So lots of heavy rain as we start to see those El Nino driven storms slam into the West Coast. This is kind of typical during El Nino during the end of July and through February, we can expect this much to rain through at least the first half of February, if not through the first 3 weeks of February. Is tend to be the wettest time for Southern California, or at least California, in their rainy season. So get ready to buckle up for a wild, wet ride here across California, where mudslides is definitely going to be a possibility, and flash flooding. So we're going to see a lot of flash flooding, especially in places like Las Vegas, the Inland Empire around LA, so Indio, Palm Springs, Moreno Valley, Riverside, San Bernardino, those areas that typically don't get much rain throughout the year. These are very arid areas, typically get less than 8 inches a year, and many of these areas are going to probably see an entire year's worth of rainfall in just a few weeks here. So we're definitely going to see issues with flooding across parts of the deserts in the Inland Empire and the deserts throughout Arizona. So Phoenix, Tucson, those areas that don't typically see a lot of rainfall can't handle too much rainfall in a short period of time. So that's definitely not something they're going to be too thrilled about here as we deal with that, okay? So get ready for that. That storm system is going to eventually make its way across the southern plains, and once it does so, we're going to see very heavy rain set up across parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky. So the south central U.S., the lower Mississippi River Valley to the Gulf Coast, eastern Texas, Oklahoma, all of those areas are going to be dealing with some very heavy rainfall that could last about a week of some excessive rain. So a very prolonged period of heavy rain is going to be possible down across the southern U.S. We're going to talk a lot more about that in future forecast videos later through the weekend, and I'm expecting that storm to begin to affect those regions by about Monday. So before Monday, we're going to cover that extensively on the possibility of that heavy rainfall and a few opportunities for some winter weather here across the upper Midwest. Some light snow is going to be possible from time to time over the next couple of weeks, but not by any means or stretch of the imagination is it going to help improve our severe drought as far as snow is concerned this year. Last year we was more than twice our normal average snowfall, so we're definitely running the course with El Nino this year, a very powerful El Nino, which will probably begin to wane sometime in May or at the end of April or through the month of May. We're going to start to see El Nino begin to weaken and collapse to ISO neutral, and at least if the forecasts hold together, likely La Nina conditions for next winter. So my name is Mr. G, your meteorologist. Thank you for joining me today. And if you watch me on TikTok, please follow me there. And if you watch on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Please feel free to leave your comments, and those likes I want as well. So thanks, guys. Have a great day and a good weekend. We'll talk to you tomorrow, and bye-bye.